YouTube channel for another interesting video. In today's video, I'm gonna share something with you. This live streaming, I'm going to share something with you so interesting. Yeah, the majority of the people in the society today, they think that when they don't have money, they're suffering. Like the majority of the people in the society, they have this mindset. When they don't have money, they are really suffering. Lack of money is not the definition of suffering in your life. If you listen to me, if you don't have money at the moment, it does not mean that you are suffering because money does not mean that you are living a good life at the same time. There are people who are freaking there are people who are extraordinarily rich, but they are going through hard time. Those people, they face a lot of difficulties in their life. Yeah, and like this is general thinking. General thinking. Even people in the society today tend to think that people who are suffering the most are rich people because those rich people, they might not have a lot of friends. They might only be talking about business. They might only be thinking that life is about making millions of US dollars, which is not the case. Which is not the case. Yeah. And this video is to tell you like everyone who lacks money and he or she thinks I'm really suffering, that is a mistake. You are not suffering. You are not suffering, my brother. If you lack money, my sister, and you think that you are suffering, you are not suffering. Money is what comes and goes. Money comes and goes. Like everyone in life has his or her own season when he or she is going to pocket a big amount or a heavy amount of money. Yeah, like anyone in this life has a particular time when he or she is going to pocket a big amount of cash. But what will you do with that money? That is now your problem. It's not my problem. Like people used to think that if you don't have money, categorically you are suffering. Think life is very difficult for you. You cannot make it. You are really suffering. You are going through hard time. I'm telling you, that is not the definition of suffering. Suffering is when you become a slave to something. If you are a slave of money, if you can't sleep because you lack money, if you can't sleep because your activities are not going well, if money is the one controlling your life, it means now you are suffering. Anything that controls you, anything that has the ability to change your mood, you become slave to that thing. If you are a slave of money, know that money will make you suffer. And if you are not a slave of money, money will not make you suffer. Like people, let me take an example. There is one guy in my country, there is one guy in Cameroon, let me put it like that. That guy is astronomically rich, is very, very rich. But you know what happened? He faced some difficulties and his business collapsed, and that guy became broke. Bro, he's living a normal life. He's living. He's okay without money. He used to be a millionaire in US dollars, but today He's not even a millionaire in franc CFA, in CFA, but the guy still live his life normally. Yeah, I know everyone. We want money to live. We want money to make things to work. We want money to live in the capitalism society. Yeah, I know it is very important to have money, but if you don't have, it is not a definition of suffering. Yeah, because I know even people who are living better life. I know people who are living better life compared to those who have all the money. I know people who are living better life, raising their children, participating in these church activities, being normal in the community, but they don't have money. But I know the same people too who have a lot of money. I know people who have a lot of money, but they're still facing the same problem like those who are not even having money. You know, money is the solution, and money can also be the problem. Yeah, and there are some people like when they lack money, they start becoming chronic beggars. They start talking, shouting, making noise all over, talking nonsense. And that is not the definition of what you have to do when you don't have money. When you don't have money, you have to sit down and develop ways how you can get the money. And if you think that you cannot do that, and if you think that you cannot do that, it is very difficult for you to develop ways on how to make money. You better sit down and you struggle in peace and you live in peace and you don't envy others' life. Because when you start envy, when you cultivate the act or the habit of envy, it will drive you to jealousy. From jealousy, now you will become depressed, stressed, and become uncontrollable in the community or society. I will share an example with you. I have one of my classmates, that guy, his father was a very rich man, bro. In campus, his father was a very rich guy. His father was rich. Oh, his father was rich. I'm telling you, rich. His father used to send him $1,000 every month. $1,000 every month. But that guy was still having the same. I was even living better than him because he has the money. But the money now is putting him into troubles. I'm telling you, troubles. The guy has money. His father sent him like $1,500 every single month for a student. That is a lot of money, bro. His father, yeah, I don't want to tell his position, but his father is a very rich guy. His father is a rich guy. The problem now with my friend, he cultivated the habit of having many girlfriends. He has something like 8 girlfriends. The girlfriend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, different girlfriends. The guy has not even completed the school. The guy has not even, I'm telling you, he has not even completed, he has not finished his program in campus. And he was in the right direction compared to all of us. He was ahead, he was advanced when it comes to financial resources. The guy was running at the higher speed, but at the end of the day, he failed like nothing. He failed like nothing. He didn't make it. He didn't cope with the obstacles that the money that he has is going to bring him. You get my point? My point is, you might think you are suffering because you lack money. Even those who have that money, have a lot of they have a lot of challenges. Even when you see the suicide rates in all the countries, is it developed or undeveloped or less developed or what, you see the minority of those who do commit suicide are the poor, are those who lack money. But those who are well equipped financially are those who just wake up, go on the rooftop and jump down and die. And even when it comes to divorce rate, the divorce rate is higher among the rich compared to the poor. I'm telling you, lacking money does not mean that you are suffering. You are the one who think like you are suffering. And I will share with you, I have someone who used to help me in those years, in the dark years of my life. That person used to be instrumental. He was an instrumental because he helped me to deal with the small obstacles I used to face during that period of my life. But one day he asked me, he said, my friend, I say yes. He said, you are suffering and you are taking weight. He said, you are suffering, you are suffering and you are becoming big. I told her, me, I'm not suffering. You are the one who think that I'm suffering. If I don't have money, I will look for solution how to get that money. I don't define the lack of money as suffering as many people do in this life. The day you escalate from that aspect or from that concept that allows people to think that, oh, when you don't have money, you are suffering. Bro, it is not that way. I know lack of money puts you in a very stressful moment of your life, and you have to deal with it, because even that lack of money, if you internalize it positively, it is going to help you to grow mentally so that you can face the obstacles in your life. That is another key point. Another point is, I've talked about the suicide rates. Like, most of the people who commit suicide are those who have a lot of money, because they don't have anyone to talk to, because they are more excluded from the society, because everything they do is they communicate with their business, and once the business collapse, they have no one they have no one to share to what is going on in their life, and suddenly they wake up, they go and jump from the rooftop, bam, they are dead. And it is like that in many countries. Is it in Africa? Is it in the US? Is it anywhere? People who have money, they do commit suicide compared to those who lack money. Because when you don't lack money, your brain, you have to go and look for that money. Your stomach is empty. You have to go and work. Which type of work is that? But those who have the money, when they are stressed, bro, when they are stressed, the only thing that they do, they go out. Those who have money, when they are stressed, they go where it will be difficult for them to get some assistance, or this, how do you call it and there is even some people, especially these rich people, they are very crazy. When they have small conflict with the family, it is at times very difficult for them to solve it in a way that makes sense. At times they prefer to kill themselves. They kill the family, or they kill. That is the ideology of those who are rich, because they face conflict irregularly. But those who are poor, they have to fight to get what they want. Those who are poor, they have to wake up at 4 and work and go after what they want. And those who are rich, they just live there and wake it. Like, let me take an example. My mother is a businessman. I can say my mother deal with like 7 to 10 conflicts per week, because she's in the market. She has to deal with the customer, the competitors. She has to deal with many people who surround her, who wants to take advantage of her. But most of the people who live in offices who call themselves boss, anytime they are engaged in this conflict, they don't know how they will look for an alternative or the best way to solve those problems. Yeah, that is one of the challenges that the rich people they have. And I will tell you, the lack of money does not mean that you are rich. You have to put it in your brain. You have to understand it. Like when you don't have money, it does not mean that you are poor. It does not. Oh, sorry. When you don't have money, it does not mean that you are suffering. When you don't have money, it does not mean that you are suffering. Because I've noticed from many people, they have that thing in their mind. When they don't have money, they are like this. They become chronic beggars everywhere. They are known for their ability of being broke. And I will share with you guys something. Even me, I used to think that when you don't have money, you are really suffering. When you don't have money, your life is dark. When you don't have money, bro, only the brain that you have, if your brain operates well, your brain can work for you and make money for you. You get my point? You have all the money. I'm going to make a video about it. How to how to destroy the poverty mindset, how to destroy the poverty mindset that is going to allow you to restructure your life. Yeah, like when I was making this point, when you forget that lack of money does not typifies that you are suffering, bro, it will allow you to see the lack of money positively and experience the challenges and the obstacles that the person who lacks money faces. Because there is an adage which says, those who have gone through war know the value of peace. You know, when you lack money, it is a tool. It is a way that influence you, motivate you, educate you, inspire you, wake you up at 5 a.m. so that you can wake up and go and look for that money. Yeah, it motivates you. If you internalize it positively, if you put it positively in a way that I lack money, but I'm not suffering, I lack money, I'm not suffering, I lack money, I'm not suffering, I have to go and look for that money. I assure you that one day you are going to make it. One day things shall be fine. One day it is going to be something good in your life. Yeah. And there is also this thing like when you don't have money, you call people everywhere to help you. Hello, please, I want you to give me this amount of money. I'll pay you today. It is good and it is money. You have to know the type of person that you are dealing with. If that person is not good, I authorize you not to deal with that person because at the end of the day, it is not going to help you because you are going to taint your reputation. I know people, there are some people, if they call me, I will not pick their phone because when I was in trouble, I used to call them, I asked them for help. At the end of the day, they interpret my calls as a disturb. They say, oh, this guy is disturbing people every day, is calling us. And if you sit down, you say, okay, this period of my life, I don't have money, but it is difficult. I agree with it, but I don't see it as suffering. But let other people describe my lack of money as suffering, but I'll make it in future. Bro, I'm telling you, you will be successful. You'll be a successful guy. If you don't see lack of money as suffering, but you see as an opportunity that would educate you, an opportunity that will lift you up, and as an opportunity that mentally, because I talk about it, most of the things that the young generation face today is mental toughness. If you are not mentally tough, there is one day that you might even think of ending your life, which is not good for majority of you guys. Interpret lack of money as a weapon that as a weapon that invigorates you or spearhead your ability to stand against adversary, like your ability to stand against things that are very difficult in your life. You have to do that. Today I'm going to talk. Today I will talk, even though I was not prepared to talk, but I have to talk. Yeah, I talk about don't be a chronic beggar. Don't be a chronic beggar. And I was talking about the importance of frustration and rejection that comes with the lack of money. When you don't have money, you look for people to assist you, you look for people to help you. But if those people decline your request, you have to sit down, you adapt to the situation, and know that we used to say in French, there is an adage in French, like I'll put in English. Even if the night lasts for 24 hours, the day shall appear. Like if you are in the hard, if you are going through hard time and you think that that hard time cannot you cannot get out of it, just forget about it. Just forget about it, because one day it is going it is going to disappear. The difficulties that you are facing, one day it is going to disappear. There are some musicians in West Africa, they call them Magic System. They sang this song, Abu Vazi Molo Molo, Sagacity Labla. I like that song. And even the one who sang this song, Premier Gawa Paris. Those guys that have gone through hard time. They used to lack money, but they didn't define the lack of money as suffering. Because when you see lack of money as suffering, it, how can I put it? It pulls you down and not allow you to focus on things that is very important in your life. These guys of Magic System, when they talk about their story, success is very hard. If you want to be successful and you consider the lack of money as suffering, just know that you are halfway done, because it is going to be hard for you to cope when you don't have money. I know people who have lack money. I know people who did not have anything in their life. I know people whom things were very difficult for them, but at the end of the day, they are counting millions, they are billionaires, they are dealing with big CEOs, because they didn't take that opportunity and define it as suffering. They take that opportunity as a challenge that would allow them to grow and face the obstacles whom someone who has money do not. If someone thinks the lack of money is suffering, I will tell you, you are in the wrong direction. Especially what most of the people they do is when they lack money, they tend to they tend to think that things might not go well. They tend to think that their project is going to fall. Bro, your project will not fall, your project will not fail. Only person who can make your project fail, you are the one with your thinking, your perception. You have to destroy the negative thought that you have in your mind that allows you to think that the lack of money is suffering. Yeah, I hope you like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for the next video.